16-0, Chicago. Dickey gives off to Torkelson. Torkelson out of Connecticut. And he goes for 8 yards. Short of the 40-yard line. Gary Fensick has been the leading tackler on this Bear team, makes the tackle.
This is the old sucker play. Dennis Havoc, the right guard, pulled out, and you're going to see Jim Osborne go with him, and then that opens up a natural hole. He couldn't react back, and that was the old famous sucker play where you pull a guard one way and try and sucker everybody going that way and open up the hole. Gary Fensick finally with the tackle for Chicago.
So it's 2nd and 2 after the 8-yard pickup, just short of the 40-yard line. This is Barty Smith, and Smith fighting for the first down. Packers running right at Chicago. You probably noticed that Havoc playing a lot of football right now. We have word that Mel Jackson has a pinched nerve and will not be playing possibly the rest of the game. That's getting closer.
Washington 23-17 in the 4th quarter. Look at this one. Oof. Cleveland 37-0 over Kansas City.
Green Bay plays the Chiefs next week in Kansas City. They're going to measure to see if he did get the first down inside the 40-yard line, and I don't believe he got it. Just short. Jeff Seavey and Mike Hartenstein continue to alternate in that defensive line position. Seavey started the year as an offensive tackle for Chicago. McGeorge and Bert Askson, 2 tight ends, come in as Vataha checks out.
And they sent the play in with Askins.
That's a toughie, isn't it?
Number 88. And he brought the play in.
That's number 88. We'll just say that. From the 39 now. 3rd down, and you saw a moment ago inches. I give to Barty Smith, and he got it. Barty Smith, a real pile driver on this drive. Reeves made the tackle.
Reeves almost made the tackle. Actually, Reeves guessed the hole from his middle linebacker spot and just missed his guess. Watch number 57. There he is shooting through. He runs right by Smith. A stop-and-go sign as they went by each other, and Barty Smith pile drive through to get the first down. This is the Packers' best drive of the game so far.
Barty Smith now has 50 yards on 14 carries. They're doing exactly what they wanted to do. Start their offense, keep possession of that football. They trail 16-0. The drive now at the 37 of Chicago. Nate Simpson now with Smith. This is Nate Simpson. He fumbles the ball. And all the way back out to the 49-yard line. Hartenstein over there giving chase. So the mistakes now very costly to Green Bay.
Well, that's the kind of a play that can ruin a drive. You get a fumble like that, now they're in a passing situation, 20 yards to go, and you've got some trouble. There's Miami 13-7 over San Diego. The Dolphins going in were 5-1, tied with Baltimore in the Eastern Division.
Boy, Don Shula's got that crew back, doesn't he?
He sure has.
2nd down, you see the yardage, 21 to go at that long loss back to the 49. Dickey wants to throw on 2nd down. Protection breaking down. Reidels is there. A loss back inside the 45. Also Jim Osborne.
Let's watch Reidels. Watch Larry McCarron, 54. He's an optional blocker to get back and help out as Reidels just comes piling through. 2 guys blocked him, and he still made the tackle. First, it was Knutson, and then it was McCarron. He got by them both and made the tackle. And if you don't think... Let's see, 3rd and 10, 20, 30, 3rd and 30.
It's an acre to go, 3rd and 30, I think. Now, their original line of scrimmage is the 37 of Chicago. They're now on their own 43. Inside, 9.5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. So the drive now going backwards. 3rd down, 30 yards to go. Dickey, here comes Osborne after him. Lays the ball to Barty Smith, and Barty Smith, quite a collision at the 49-yard line. Coming up on that play was Allen Ellis. We have offside against Chicago on the play. Green Bay, however, picking up more yardage than that on the pass completion. Dickey that time showing a little touch on that pass.
Yes, he did. Good grab. I think they'll take another down if they can get it.
Ball at the 49. It was 3rd and 30, and of course they're a long ways from the first down. They got to go all the way till the 27-yard line of Chicago. But they would have a 4th down if, in fact, they take the ball there, and that's what Dickey's trying to find out right now. Lynn Dickey coming in here hitting 53% of his passes, 4 touchdowns, but 11 interceptions. Last week, 11 of 15. Very fine game against Tampa Bay. So, John, they're going to take it so they can get another crack at the ball.
We have offside, number 75, defense.
That's Jeff Seavey. Seavey, who played defense at the University of California, then coming to the Bears, moved to the offense. Now he's playing both ways.
And he's playing a little defense, and I saw him last night. He says, if I get in, isolate on me. Watch me.
3rd and 25. Dickey with pressure from Osborne again. Also Hartenstein. And he just got rid of it. Rich McGeorge is covered. There was nobody open. Jim Osborne is really putting some pressure on.
Jim Osborne has not played as much as he'd like to the past few games, but let's watch him. 68 coming after Dickey. That's a long way to go. Mike Hartenstein, 73, is also there. Dickey had no option but to throw the ball to avoid the loss. The Packers are going to have to punt.
Well, it really hurt him on that drive with that mishandled pitch to Nate Simpson. And now they're backed up, and Beverly will kick. Beverly in the first half averaged 38 yards on 6 kicks. Back to Schubert. He did not make a fair catch, or did he? He didn't let him catch the ball anyway. And at the 15-yard line, Schubert was hit, and hit very hard by Andre Thompson. A scramble coming out with the ball. You got to let him catch that ball. You can't interfere with the catching of the ball. And Schubert is hurt, and I can understand why. He was really hit. He's down now, getting up very slowly.
No chance. That's got to be a penalty against the Green Bay Packers. Thompson was trying to time it so that he could let him catch it and then blast him, but he just hit him too soon. And Schubert a little bit shaken up.
He got doubled in half on that play. They're very vulnerable in that situation.
He's telling Walterscheid, you take the next one.
All right, Pat Haggerty now indicating the penalty, which moves the ball out to the 30.
We have interference with the right to make a catch. Okay.
Out to the 30-yard line. That was a 37-yard kick. The ball at the 30, and Chicago with the football, and also the 16-0 lead. 8 minutes and 52 seconds left to go, 3rd quarter. Warm day here in Green Bay. Temperature kickoff time 52 degrees. We come back with 8:52 left to go in this 3rd quarter. From the 30-yard line, Avellini to John Musso. And Musso brings it out to the 31. Packers having that ball a long time in that initial drive, but not getting any points. Mike Butler making a stop, and Minnesota.
Final 14-7 Minnesota, so the Vikings are 5-2 in the Central Division. Atlanta has dropped to 4-3 in the Western Division, giving the Rams a chance to take over. Look at this one. They're gone into overtime, I understand. Houston and Cincinnati 10-10.
Houston to meet the Chicago Bears next week. A gain on that last play of 2 yards. Here comes Payton, and he's got a flag on the play, and Walter Payton's hit by Carter and everybody else. He might have gotten a couple of yards, and that's all. Walter Payton with a chance to really shatter some records in the second half of play. Johnny Gray and Fred Carr over there, but a penalty against the Bears anyway. Again, Payton needs only 22 yards to set a personal high for himself, 112 to break O.J. Simpson's record. The Packers held onto that ball a long time here in the 3rd quarter.
That was their best drive of the game, and too bad for the fumble because they had a chance. They were moving, good blocking. Now the Bears, if they can control this ball, they will make the Packers forget about that successful drive that they had.
All right, we have holding, number 64, offense.
That's Ted Albrecht, the #1 draft pick out of California, now playing tackle, guilty of holding.
Well, this is a situation where in this game where the Packers have done well is when the Bears have been 2nd and 15, 2nd and 20, where they've been forced to pass.
2nd down, 18 yards to go with the penalty. That is the 9th penalty for 70 yards against the Bears. Quick pitch, Musso. And Musso hit hard, just short of the 25-yard line. Dave Purifoy and Fred Carr, but Purifoy playing his best football ever in his 6th year. Some real contact that time.
He already has 6 sacks, and that time he sacked. It's not an official sack, but he really sacked Johnny Musso. Took him down.
3rd down, 16. Changes. Clarence Williams coming out of the ball game now.
And there go those defensive backs in.
Boy, they send in some people, don't they? Steve Wagner checking in. Terry Randolph, the brother, by the way, of Willie Randolph, the 2nd baseman for the Yankees. 3rd down, 16. Avellini on a draw to Walter Payton, and Payton gets out to the 30, and it's going to bring up fourth down, still 10. Ezra Johnson, number 78. You're going to hear a lot about him in the years ahead. The rookie out of Morris Brown making the tackle, fourth down.
And if you don't think the Bears have turned conservative, that was a classic example. 3 straight runs there in a situation where they really needed a passing down to get a first down, but they've got the lead 16-0, eat up the clock and not take any chances.
That's what Green Bay was criticized for last week with that 13-0 lead over Tampa Bay. But Jack Pardee said you just sit on them like that. The kick now by Bob Parsons. Moresco putting the pressure on. Johnny Gray is back at the 34. 40-yard line. Johnny Gray goes into the air at the 42-yard line. Fine return, but there's a flag back at the 35-yard line. We're going to have an ineligible man down the field. But I don't believe the Packers will mess around with that one. They'll take over right now. Good return that time on a 38-yard kick by Bob Parsons. Johnny Gray, who last year returned 37 punts for the Packers. This year, they've been alternating back there. But the Packers are going to take the ball.
Downfield, number 39, offense, decline, first down.
Let's watch Gray as he went airborne.
There he goes, up just like a hurdler. You can get killed that way, too.
You've known that before. Have you tried that? So with 6:46, there's timeout on the field. The Bears with a 16-0 lead in this 116th meeting. San Diego, Johnny Morris, just pulled one out. Harris, a 5-yard run to beat the Miami Dolphins.
And New England over the Jets, 24-13.
From the 42-yard line, a first down for the Packers. They trail 16-0. Dickey wasting no time. Pressure put on. He dumps it off to Barty Smith. Smith rips it up to the 46-yard line. Doug Buffone, the veteran, he's been in this league 11 years out of the University of Louisville. Last year in the second game, tore his Achilles tendon. And some real courage battling back into that starting linebacking spot.
And there aren't too many people that can come back from a completely torn Achilles tendon and play as well as Doug Buffone has. Many people figured, especially at his age, he was finished.
Turdell Middleton now in the backfield. Another rookie is Bart Starr taking a look at the rookies. Simpson and now Middleton. 2nd and 5. Here comes Turdell Middleton. He's a 3rd-round draft pick out of Memphis State, and he's very close to the first down. Ron Rydelt, again, the name we call out as he's been on a bunch of tackles in this game.
You know, Papa Bear George Hollis is back in Chicago, and he's got to be thinking about the old Packer-Bear games like back in 1923. When the Bears beat the Packers 3-0. I wonder if he remembers that specific game. And how about 1924 when it was 5-0 Green Bay over the Bears?
Well, the first down indicated by the measurement. What is he, 82 years young, isn't he, George Hallis?
82 years old.
40 years a coach, retiring in 1968. This team leading 16-0. Zeke Bradkowski now conferring on the sideline. They'd like to get some points on the board. That was a first down on that run by Middleton. Dickey, play action to Middleton. This is Vataha. And Vataha, the second catch. Looks like he caught a knee in the side that time, getting up very slowly. Doug Plank was the guy there, and Vataha is hurting.
Same pattern to Vataha, down on the quick post with a little run fake, and he's wide open as he's in between the triangle. 3 Chicago Bears, a triangle, but not where the ball was, and there was the knee that he caught from Doug Plank. And that can hurt.
Is really hurting right now. This young man is only 170-pounder, 5'10". Look at it again.
I don't think it's intentional. It's just that he went down and Plank was trying to go up and over.
Doug Plank will hit you, and he came up on the fly that time. 16-0 Chicago, 5:22 to go, 3rd quarter. Vataha sitting down kind of gingerly right now. He's really hurting that right side. But he did give the Packers a first down at the 32-yard line of Chicago. Dickey. And I don't know. I guess Rich McTill's the intended receiver. The deep man was Odom. He was double covered. And George had dropped in a shorter place, but nothing doing on that play.
Randy Vataha has bruised ribs, which can be very, very painful, which means you'll have to be strapped up depending on how badly bruised they are, but it's really a painful injury.
Thus far in this game now, Lynn Dickey's hit 7 of 18 for 69 yards. His longest pass completion, 17. 2nd and 10. Give up the middle to Barty Smith. And Barty Smith, the leading ground gainer for the Packers here this afternoon, is inside the 30-yard line. Don Reeves, out of Texas Tech, making the stop. Let's watch number 57.
There he is, Don Reeves, the man who was being blocked there by McCarron, but McCarron goes right underneath him. He holds his ground, and in comes Barty Smith, but they still couldn't stop him from gaining about 3 or 4 yards.
Inside the 30, brings up 3rd down and 5. You don't hear a lot about Reeves, but he does a pretty good job in that middle.
And we see Odom in the slot. He's going to be in this play.
Odom and Ollie Smith flank to the bottom of the screen on a 3rd down and 5. Dickey, Steve Odom, and Odom at the 15-yard line. However, is there a flag here? There's a flag inside the 30-yard line, and who's it against? It's holding against Green Bay. And that has been the story today, John. They've really hurt themselves on mishandled balls as well as the penalty. So the completion to the 15-yard line is going to come back. There's Andre Thompson, 43, getting ready to check in. So the 10-yard step-off brings the ball back to the 40-yard line.
So all in all, it cost 25 yards.
Holding,
number 43.
Number 60, offense.
Steve Knudsen is the one he said, number 60.
Let's watch the left guard as he's blocking. And you can see Rideouts get around him. He pulled on his arm. Yes, it was holding. And there is Odom down clear.
As you said it, they lost 25 yards on that play. Now it's 3rd and 15. Dickey back again. Dumps it off to Barty Smith. Smith to the 35, lowers his head, and Alan Ellis didn't give a step on that one. Ellis with 3 interceptions this year. He's not a very big guy, but it won.
4th down and 10. A field goal would be much too long, especially against the wind. If they didn't make it, the Bears wouldn't have the greatest field position at the 35-yard line. If they did complete it, let's see, they need 11 yards.
Well, Lynn Dickey over there conferring with Bart Starr and Zeke Bradkowski. So we're going to take this opportunity now. The clock stopped at 3:53. 16-0 our score. To listen to this. The Packers on 4th down, 10.5 yards to go at the 3:53 mark of the 3rd quarter are going for it. They have 3 wide receivers in the game. Back to throw is Lynn Dickey. The protection is there. He throws. It is intercepted. A remarkable interception at the 20-yard line. And bringing it out comes Gary Fensick, and Fensick is at the 40. So on 4th and 10.5, the Packers elected to gamble. And what an interception by Gary Fensick, his 2nd of the year.
They had Odom in the slot, and he went down the field and cut across. 84, you can see him near the 2nd man from the top of your screen. Now he has a little bit of a pressure there, a blitz by the Bears, and here comes the ball. And Fensick came from the other side and intercepted it, and the Bears have the ball. Actually, Odom was open as far as the man covering him.
23-yard interception. That was a kind of a circus catch that time. Here comes Walter Payton. He didn't have much running time in the 2nd half, but here he goes. Walter Payton, before that carry, had 166 yards, and he's close to the midfield stripe. Jim Carter, Johnny Gray making the tackle. As Walter Payton zeroing in on some personal highs as Bart Starr looks on.
He might run in the locker room and put that suit on himself.
That was Dickey's first interception. He's 8 of 20 for this game. Ball inside the 50, and now we keep abreast of Payton. He has 175 yards. His personal high, 183. Gain of 9. This is Musso, and Musso's got the first down. Johnny Gray's got him at the 43-yard line. Musso getting a lot of playing time in this game, and I know he's really welcomes it. Cincinnati.
13-10, Cincinnati, that's the final. So the Bengals are back on the board a little bit. They're 3-4 in the Central Division.
Well, that's some division, isn't it?
Yeah. Houston will be 3-4, too.
Chris Barr with a 22-yard field goal, the difference in that game. 13-10, the Bengals. First down, Chicago. Avellini, Walter Payton. And Payton moves the ball close to the 35-yard line. Boy, did he stick it in that time. Mike Butler, Johnny Gray.
The Packers are using a lot more odd defense, or that old 53 defense with the man head up on the center. They got Purefoy, and the Bears are handling it pretty well. The Packers are traditionally that 4-3 defense. They're using a little more of the odd alignment today.
It's going to bring up second down 3. The ball at the 36. Payton now with 181 yards, 2 short of his personal high. Here's Musso again, and Musso very close to the first down. Gray making the tackle. Johnny Gray, last year 4 interceptions. He's a former free agent pick 3 years ago out of California State Fullerton, wearing a number that you're familiar with. Willie Wood wore that number years past with Green Bay.
One of the great ones. He and Herb Adderley and some of those guys they had in the defensive backfield, Robinson and
Would
Nitschke.
Willie Wood hit you?
Oh, they all hit you.
At the 32, first down. Avellini off to Payton, and Payton now has a personal high as he moves that ball to the 27-yard line. Johnny Gray again making the stop.
Teamed with Musso, as you see, Musso 22 leading the way. Just goes right through the hole. Fred Carr got a hand on him, but Payton is so elusive, so slippery. And finally, Johnny Gray, who's been called upon several times today to stop Payton in the secondary.
That's 186 yards, and that's a personal high now for Walter Payton. On 2nd and 4, here comes Walter again, and they're keying off on him pretty well now. Drop him at the 25. Clarence Williams in the hole as Walter picks up a couple of hard-earned yards that time.
This stadium is very quiet now. These Packer fans haven't had much to cheer about, and they're just kind of watching Payton in awe. He's about to go over 200 yards rushing. That's a lot of yards.
Again, now we might remind everybody the record in the National Football League is 273 yards by O.J. And we still have 37 seconds left here in the third quarter. Third down and 3. This time up the middle, and that's close to the first down. As Avellini going straight ahead. Carr and Carter combining on the stop. And they may measure to see. They're going to have to bring the sticks in to see if he got it.
That's Sid Gilman standing next to Jack Pardee, who is the new offensive coordinator for the Bears this year. Pardee's got to be happy with the way things are going. They have stuck to the game plan, and Walter will carry 30 times.
They're just short of that first down. So they're going to have a 4th down coming up. Payton now, the crowd has been told, has 20 carries, 188 yards. And 1 touchdown as Bradley and Latta, the 2 tight ends, come in. 4th down and less than a yard to go. 22 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Avellini sneaking ahead, and he's got the first down. Avellini to the 21-yard line, first down, as this third quarter is coming to a close here in Lambeau Field. Chicago Bears haven't had the football all that much in the second half. This is the lead they had at halftime, 16-0. The Packers using some ball control as the third quarter comes to a close. Our score after 3 quarters: the Chicago Bears 16, the Green Bay Packers nothing. We now pause for a word from your local station.
A half-wild mountain child that's kept under lock and key brings Rafferty onto the scene tomorrow night on CBS.
Along with Johnny Morris, this is Gary Bender. We've just gone through a scoreless third quarter. We start the fourth quarter. The Bears with a 16-0 lead. First down at the 21 of Green Bay. Avellini off to Musso. Musso to the 15, and Johnny Musso dives forward to the 12-yard line. Johnny Gray making the tackle. Well, we've talked about Payton all day long. Musso has carried the ball 13 times. And now he has gone over 55. He's gone to 61 yards for the afternoon.
And how about the New Orleans Saints, who lead the Rams 24-20 in the third quarter, and Dallas is killing Detroit 30-0 in the third quarter.
I had New Orleans last week against St. Louis, and they had 31 points in that game. They have a lot of offense. Hank Stram has that ball moving. Second down, a yard to go. Avellini to Musso, and Musso gets the first down inside the 10-yard line. Inside the 10, first down Chicago. Last year, the Bears swept the Packers, and that was the first time since 1963. As we look at some of the scores, there is New Orleans, Los Angeles. Tell you, the Saints, you got to score a lot of points against them.
And they'll give you a lot of points, though. I'll tell you, they lose 40-35. It's got to be exciting football, but not much defense.
First down now, first and goal at the 9-yard line. Avellini to Walter Payton. Look at Payton inside the 5. He's going to fight his way down close to that goal line. You cannot tackle that guy high because he'll just carry you with him, and he's got to be inside the 1-yard line.
There was some excellent blocking, and watch number 22, Johnny Musso, the block that he throws to help Walter. He'll hit Fred Carr, 53, which you can't see too well, as you saw Jimmy Carter kind of run out of the play there, and then Payton just takes 3 or 4 of them to bring him down. Just sheer power. Look at that. The legs keep going. We'll get a better look at the blocking in a second. Watch 22, Musso, hit Fred Carr right there, and out of the play he went. Johnny Gray tried to make the tackle.
Second and goal, diving in is Musso. He's in. Touchdown. So the Chicago Bears get some more breathing room.
He just barely got over, but that was enough. Walter Payton into the end zone, up on top of that white line. If you're over it with the ball, it's a touchdown.
So Walter Payton scoring again. The block from Musso. I think I said Musso carried, but he was the lead blocker that time. He takes it in. It's 22-0. Payton now with 197 yards. 2 touchdowns. Point after attempt, Bob Thomas to kick. Aschnagel a hole. 12:53 remaining. And Bob Thomas adds it. It's 23-0. The Chicago Bears well on their way to victory number 3 of the year with this 23-0 lead led by the marvelous Walter Payton.
Next Saturday, CBS Sports presents live coverage of the Series Championship of Women's Tennis with Chris Evert and Billie Jean King heading the field. That's next Saturday at 2:30.
Bob Thomas kicking off. There's part of the crowd. I don't think there's too many happy Packer fans right now. You know, they're really a loyal crowd here. And right now they're sitting very silently, and they've just got to be awed by the play of Walter Payton, who now has 197 yards.
Well, they are, if you want to say loyal fans, they don't boo. I don't know how long they'll go along with this and not boo, because fans pay their money and they have a right to boo, but they don't want to boo a Bart Starr team for some reason.
23-0 our score. It's going to be a short kick, and coming up on the fly is Steve Odom. Odom out across the 30, and he fumbled the ball, but it came right back to him. The ball was loose, but it came right back into his grasp at the 31-yard line. So Green Bay trailing 23-0. There's a final, and the Skins needed that one. They defeat the Eagles. 23-17, Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Baltimore losing a tough one last week against New England. Turdell Middleton, number 34 on your screen, comes in. A rookie out of Memphis State, 3rd-round draft pick. Artie Smith will join him in the backfield. Dickey play action fake. Protection is very good. Throws up the field to Steve Odom. Odom dropped immediately by Virgil Livers. Steve Odom got the first down out to the 41-yard line.
Nice play by Odom. He came back for the ball as Dickey came up in the pocket. Good execution. It's coming a little bit late for the Packers. As you see, you watch Dickey go back, and the pocket comes around him, so he comes forward and then throws to Odom, who is coming back to the ball, so the defender can't do anything but tackle him. Good execution.
11-yard pickup to the 41. 12-10 remaining in our game. Dickey back again. Protection's there again. He throws to Ollie Smith, and Smith tries to get back up, but he's touched before he can, and that's another first down. Don Reeves over there, but Ollie Smith Gets inside to the Bear end of the field. So on 2 pass completions, Len Dickey has picked up 2 first downs. Dickey now has hit 10 of 22 in this game. Len Dickey, big guy. He's got the good size, 6'4". They listed about 215, 220. He was hurt in the 10th game last year against Chicago, a shoulder injury, but has come back. Dickey again, the throw. He throws it far side. Turdell Middleton. Is that a pass or a lateral? They're going to consider that a pass incomplete. Very close to going either way.
Very close. He played it kind of nonchalantly and convinced the officials that it was a forward pass.
2nd down, 10. You know, you look at Chicago, John. A lot of people picked them to win this Central Division of the NFC. And they've lost some tough ones. I think in particular the game in St. Louis, the game against Minnesota. But there's still time.
Especially with the Vikings being just 5-2. The Bears will be 3-4. They'll be 2 games out.
Dickey back to throw again. 2nd and 10. Throwing, and Rich McGeorge, did he get it? No, incomplete. I think I took one skip into his arms that time. And so we go to a 3rd down, 10.
Do I hear a few boos?
I think you do. Rich McGeorge coming in here with 10 catches. He's been a very durable tight end. There's the Bear bench. It's got to be a pleased bench at this stage. This was considered somewhat of a pressure game for them. Nate Simpson is checked in, and Turdell Middleton is checked out. Odom, Ollie Smith flanked to the near side. 3rd down, 10. Dickey throwing under pressure. Odom getting turned around. Couldn't get to the ball. Livers again defending on the play, and it's 4th down, and the crowd is booing.
They put the all-out blitz on that time, which forced Dickey to throw that ball very quick. Livers had the coverage well, and the Packers are going to have to punt as Bart Starr trying to figure what to come up with to get his team back in this game.
Well, the Packers have not been held scoreless this year. Twice they've been held to 1 touchdown. That was against Minnesota and Cincinnati. As we mentioned earlier, they've been in every game. Right now, the Bears commanding 23-0 lead. Big rush. Beverly gets it away. Fine kick. And that one's going to make it into the end zone for the touchback. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line with 11 minutes and 5 seconds left to be played. As Green Bay, after that 48-yard kick, would like to salvage some points in this game. You hate to get shut out, and right now they face that possibility as they trail 23-0, 4th quarter.
Touch, the first computer TV. Magnavox Touch Tune Color Television. Touch and lock in computer sharp color, computer fast. Touch, no need to fine tune ever. Touch, at the set or by remote control, computer controlled color. Star System Touch Tune Color Television from Magnavox. Touch one today.
Hi, ever need to rent a car fast? Watch. Hertz, #1 Club number 21586, arriving San Diego at 2 p.m. on RAL Flight 9. Returning it there tomorrow. Okay, thanks. That's all there is to it. When you're in the #1 Club, nobody makes renting a car faster or easier than the Superstar. Even before you get there, your car is pre-assigned, your forms filled out. So rent a Ford fast from Hertz, the Superstar in rent-a-car.
From the 20-yard line, Chicago with the football, 11:05 left. They have a 23-0 lead. Now we're going to keep you posted on Walter Payton. 197 yards and 22 carries thus far. The ball at the 20. Avellini has Pashnagel. To the bottom of the screen along with Scott. Here's Walter Payton cutting back against the grain. And the great running back brings it outside of the 27-yard line. Johnny Gray again making a tackle. He's got to be the leading tackler in this game.
Now here's Payton. He is so quick. It was kind of like the draw play. It was off to the left, but you have some options there. He plays off of Noah Jackson's block and then takes off and almost broke this for a long one. He was just getting under gear, and Johnny Gray made the stop along with Butler.
Now they've taken Payton out of the game. There he is, and we have him with 205 yards on 23 carries. And Robin Earl, the rookie, comes in, and this is Robin Earl carrying the ball now. And he brings it out to the 35-yard line. That may be the last we'll see of Payton today. But what a remarkable effort by him. 2 touchdowns, 205 yards. 69 yards was what he would need to break O.J.'s record. He came in here leading everybody. It was 653 yards. The closest to him was Mark Van Egan of the Oakland Raiders, and he was 69 yards behind him at the start of the day. Inside 10 minutes to go. First down. Avellini off to Musso. Nothing doing on that play. Backed up very well that time. Jim Gano, second-year man from Tulane, making the tackle for Green Bay.
Well, you have to speculate on the plight of Bart Starr. His first year they were 4-10. Last year they were 5-9, and now they're 2-5. With the prospects for the rest of the season, it looks like maybe if they're lucky 5-9, maybe 6-8.
They were shooting hopefully for a 7-7 year at the start of this year. Here comes Musso again, and Musso brings it out to the 40-yard line. It's going to bring up third down, 5 yards. There's Bart Starr. Boy, this guy, what a legend he is. He's a super guy.
Well, both of these coaches, Pardee and Bart Starr, 2 quality coaches that have had success throughout their lives. Jack Pardee was a good student, a great player, led a team to a championship in the WFL that wasn't even getting paid. You know, both of these players have had histories of success, and you have to think in the long run that they're both going to be successful in what they're doing now.
Pardee bringing over 5 players from the WFL. It's really been instrumental in this football team. Third down, 5 from the 40. Flag. We may have a delay of game coming up. Don't believe they got the ball anyway. Avellini and Ezra Johnson there kind of scuffling. That's what it's going to be. 5 yards. Stepped off against the Chicago Bears. To get back to Bart Starr, he's the 8th Packer coach. He has signed his contract through 1980. 43 years old in his 3rd year. First time that he's had a full draft. He had lost all of them. There it is, delay of the game. He had lost all of them in that John Hadel trade with Los Angeles. Next year they'll have 2 #1 draft picks because of the trade of Mike McCoy to Oakland. So they had 2 #1s this year. They're happy with those in Butler and Johnson. They hope next year to be as successful. Third down, 10. Hey, look at this. Bob Avellini. He got the first down. I'll tell you, nobody knew where he was there for a moment. I think he's shaken up on this play, too.
He paid for it. He paid for it. Johnny Gray really laid into him, and Steve Luke. But did he fool him as he comes right up, and the Piper, the center, didn't even have to block anybody. And there goes. Now watch Johnny Gray, 24, and Steve Luke. They hit him head on, and it jolted Bob, and I think he might be a little bit dizzy as he goes off the field. But it was sure a successful play.
He goes off, and Mike Phipps is going to make his first appearance ever this year. He has not played at all in a regular season of play. Picked up from the Cleveland Browns, a former Purdue standout. There he is, number 15. He gives off to Robin Earl, and look at him, 250 pounds of running back. And he's got a first down inside the 45-yard line.
There are a lot of Chicago Bears who hadn't played this year as far as from scrimmage. Robin Earl, Johnny Musso hadn't played much, and they're all getting a chance to play. And Robin Earl at 250 pounds.
That's Whitehurst.
There you see Whitehurst, who may get a chance to play in this game. And Bart Starr's very high on Mr. Whitehurst from Furman.
He was an 8th-round draft pick. He has not thrown a pass. He has taken a couple of snaps, but hasn't thrown a pass previous to today. First down on that last run by Robin Earl. Mike Phipps giving off to Musso. He spun around, going little or nowhere. John Brockington, we understand, just scored the first touchdown of the day for the Kansas City Chiefs. But look at that score, would you?
44-7. John Brockington, who's still being paid, I think, by the Green Bay Packers, but that's okay, I guess.
Back into what? Went over 5,000 yards in his career
He had
before
a
he did
couple of
leave
fine
here.
years here.
Art Best coming in. A lot of changes now for Chicago. Art Best, a running back they acquired from the Los Angeles Rams. He was a 6th-round draft pick for the Rams this year. Eisnagel, Scott to the bottom of the screen. Here comes Earl again. Look at him go. Robin Earl's going to take it down to the 10, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 7. Robin Earl showing some quickness and speed for a big guy. Mike McCoy eventually caught him, and Earl, a hulk of a man, can run.
And Noah Jackson, 65, was as happy as anybody. Watch 65, Noah Jackson pulling and kick his man out to provide the hole as Robin Earl, 250 pounds, gets away there from Gray and turns it on. Finally, Buchanan, I believe, is the one who knocks him out of the bound. McCoy, and he goes out of bounds. But remember, he's 250 pounds, and they're going to have to come up with a nickname for him.
I tell you, John, he showed me something on that play. 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. That was a 34-yard run by Robin Earl. Mike Phipps, his first pass of the year. Scott can't handle it. Good defensive play that time by Willie Buchanan. Willie Buchanan, he's been quite a player. He's broken his leg twice, but he is a quality defensive back.
Well, that time they just told Scott to run, and they hope that the receiver spots the ball first. And Buchanan was right there to knock it away from James Scott. I think that's the first pass to James Scott today, who is averaging 21 yards per catch. Good play by Buchanan.
He came in here 3rd in the NFC. So Phipps, with his first attempt, very close to 6 points. 2nd and goal at the 8. 6:14 left in this game. 23-0, Chicago. Phipps giving off to Art Best. Best gets a block and moves to the 5. Don Hansen now playing the middle linebacking spot, a job he held down last year in the absence of Jim Carter, who was out with a broken arm. So it's going to be 3rd and goal at the 5. You look at that Bear forward wall, you're going to about the same people, but in the backfield, there's Walter Payton. Nice job, Mr. Payton. 205 yards today. I think he earned his paycheck.
Yeah, he's going to get the start next week, I think.
3rd and goal now. Scott to the top of the screen. Fashionable. Plank to the bottom of the screen. A delay to Art Best. Clarence Williams is there. And it's going to bring up 4th and goal, and Bob Thomas will come in to attempt the field goal. A convincing performance here by the Chicago Bears, as Thomas will come in. In this ball game, Thomas booting 1 field goal. A distance of 47 yards. This will be a short one, a little chip shot for him with 5:07.
And he sometimes has his biggest problems on the shorter ones at the trajectory of the ball. We'll see what happens. He's 8 of 11, though. Those are pretty good stats.
20-yard field goal attempt. Bashnagel a hole. And he got it. Bob Thomas did that very, very easily. And we have a score now with 4 minutes and 52 seconds left in the game of 26-0 as the Chicago Bears in this heated rivalry winning impressively.
Introducing the Ford in your future, the new Ford Fairmont. A new car designed for today and the years ahead. At 33 miles per gallon highway, 23 city, Fairmont has the highest mileage ratings in its class. Yet it has 90% of the head, leg, and shoulder room of most large cars. And base sticker prices for the Fairmont line start at just $35.89. Fairmont, roomy but with mileage like a small car, and the lowest sticker price in its class. Test drive Fairmont, the newest, better idea from Ford.
Should have bought Mobile One. The oil, it saves you gas, you know.
Should have bought Mobile One. Helps you start at 35 below.
Should have bought Mobile One. Engine temperature heads 500. You're cool.
Should have bought Mobile One. You only change it every 15,000 miles.
Mobile One, the oil that does it all. Take it from an expert.
Well, the Green Bay Packers are going to get a crack at the football, trailing 26-0. Johnny Morris, thus far in this game, the Bears have rushed for 368 yards. Bob Thomas kicking off. He just kicked a 20-yard field goal. Picked up short by Colbert. He ran one back earlier, and this time he's going to bring it out to the 23 or 33. Here's a young man that Bart Starr said was a pleasant surprise. Colbreth out of Oklahoma. Robin Earl making the tackle. And now a new quarterback is coming into the ball game. David Whitehurst, number 17, out of Furman University. Has not thrown a pass thus far. He's 6'2", 205, an 8th-round draft pick. They think that he is going to be a fine prospect, an excellent runner, and had some good preseason games. With 4:44, he gets a shot at it.
Watch out, watch out.
Here comes Plank. Doug Plank on a safety blitz, and Whitehurst didn't have a chance.
Well, they knew a new quarterback was coming in, hadn't played that much, and the Bears came with the all-out blitz, the safety blitz, and figured they would give him a fast indoctrination. Watch 46 there sneaking up on the line. He comes through, there's nobody to block him, and Mr. Whitehurst says, that's not the way it was drawn up on the chart.
And that's not the way they played in college. And that amazing Plank. Plank is out 3 games with that knee injury. I don't think there's anybody in the league that hits any harder than he does at his position.
Oh, he really hits him. And, you know, the Bears have done well defensively without Wally Chambers. They've held him out.
Torkelson and Colbreth, the running backs now for Green Bay. On a 2nd and 25, Whitehurst to try it again. He's going to run it. Comes out now, and he threw the ball to Torkelson, incomplete. He almost came across that line of scrimmage before he threw the ball, but just before he did, he released it incomplete. Whitehurst, as we said, is a fine runner. He passed for over 3,000 yards in his career at Furman and is a 4-year starter there. But his team ran the fear in college, so he's got a few adjustments to make to the pro ranks.
Plus, when he comes into a game, his team is trailing 26-0. It's 3rd down and 25, and they're expecting the passes. He's coming in under the most difficult circumstances, but I guess you get indoctrinated in a hurry that way, so Bart Starr gets a chance to see him under real fire.
3rd down, 25. Whitehurst back again, got some protection, and it's Ollie Smith wide open. Ollie Smith to the 50-yard line. David Whitehurst, what a shot in the arm that's going to be for that young rookie on a 3rd and 25, getting the first down.
Well, Ollie Smith went back. Whitehurst went back, and he saw Smith coming across the center, put the ball right on the dime, and Plank made the sure tackle, but not before they got the first down. So the Packers have a chance to get on the board. You're going to see Doug Plank, 46, as he's dropping off in his free zone, reacts to it, and then comes up and makes the tackle, and it was a sure tackle. He went for the hips, got the arms around, and brought him down.
Just across the 50-yard line on that pass completion, the first of the NFL career of rookie David Whitehurst.
Uh-oh, here they come.
They picked him up this time, though, and up the field, incomplete. Andre Thompson, the intended receiver, at the 36-yard line. Allen Ellis defending.
And you were right, Gary. They did pick up the blitz that time very well. The Bears blitzed 2 men, a safety blitz, and they never got through.
So the Packers now, I tell you, John, when you play on a football team, you just hate to get shut out, don't you?
Yes.
Boy, that's what they'd like to do, somehow get on this board.
Especially in professional football. You're supposed to be able to put points on the board.
Whitehurst now 1 of 3 for 32 yards. That pass completion of 32 yards. To Ollie Smith. Here they come again.
Watch out.
They picked it up pretty well. Whitehurst. This is Thompson. He's got it. First down. Andre Thompson from East Texas State, a 5th-round draft pick. He was on the injured reserve list last year.
The blitz, the Packers' middle of the line picked it up as Whitehurst held his ground, hit Thompson, brought it in, and it's another first down. You can see the pressure, 46 on the safety blitz, and there was Colbreth making a nice block, and Plank could not get through in time to stop the pass.
Whitehurst throwing the ball very well. First down now at the 35-yard line of Chicago. Give up the middle. Here comes Colbreth to the 20. Hit hard there. Gary Finsick hit him. And 2 young rookies now, Colbreth and Whitehurst, giving the Packers a real lift.
And Colbreth was actually a second stringer at Oklahoma for much of the time. Nice running. Spivey missed the tackle, but Finsick makes it. But the Packers have a good chance now to get on the board to avert that shutout. 26-0 Chicago.
Our statistician Jim Palm indicating that was an 18-yard run by Culbreth, who had only 2 carries coming into the day. Now at the 17-yard line, the Packers on the move, coming close to the 2-minute warning. Whitehurst and a snap. He did not get the snap off in time. They took more than 30 seconds. We're going to have a delay of game coming up. You can hear the crowd sensing it as they can see the clock ticking away. They're going to have 5 yards stepped off, and the 2-minute warning is here. So the Packers trying desperately to get on the scoreboard on the arm of this young man. Have a timeout. 26-0 they trail.
Stuntman. You get the bruises instead of the glory. You hit the deck and bite the dust till your bones ache. Then you pick yourself up and do it again.
Okay, cut! That's a rough, everybody.
Let's go, buddy.
Boy, am I dry.
But now comes Miller time. Time to wrap it up and reach for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. When it's time to relax, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
David Whitehurst, number 17, who's really given this Packer crowd a lift with his play on this series, has moved the football to the 17-yard line of Chicago. 2 minutes remaining. Look at the first downs in this game.
Okay.
2 minutes left exactly as Whitehurst, looking at his backfield, he had Culbreth in there earlier, the young man from Oklahoma. Torkelson, number 26. Concar, their number 1 draft pick a year ago from the University of Colorado. Young offensive line. Cook, number 68, by the way, as you're looking at, is their number 2 pick in the 2nd round out of Arkansas, and they feel, John, that he has a bright future.
These Packer fans are staying here. You would think at 26-0 that you might figure, oh, well, so they score a touchdown. But a touchdown is very important to everybody around here. You can tell that. And I think for Mr. Whitehurst, it's even more important.
Well, they just now stepped off that 5-yard penalty, so they moved the ball back out to the 22. And now we have a 1st and 15 for the Packers. 2 minutes left to go. Whitehurst back to throw. Very good protection. Throwing for the corner. Thompson. Blank was over there. Also Doug Buffon. Double coverage in the coffin corner. Somebody just took our CBS banner. Well, caught in the act. Now they're going to get it back from him.
Well, that plus a nickel get you a cup of coffee, huh?
He's going to walk off with it. All right. One of our affiliates, WBBM.
News Radio 78.
Yes, sir. Well, the double coverage that time. With 1:55 left to go in the game. Is there now, I guess, with 1:55. What do we got here, John? Are they exercising the 2-minute warning now? They had it earlier.
Well, we thought they had it earlier. Maybe they didn't.
They had 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Now it's 1:55, but we have another delay right now as Doug Buffon and also Don Reeves go to the sideline, and here's Whitehurst returning to the huddle. There's Jack Pardee. I tell you, Pardee, being the linebacker he was in his career, can really help this pair of men.
That's right up his alley. Something like this. Seems like there's a lot of strategy going on here at the end of this game. There haven't been too many shutouts in the history of the Packers and Bears. In fact, up here there have been 48 games and 4 ties. There have been 24 wins by the Bears, 24 wins by the Packers at Lambeau Stadium.
John, let's look ahead a little bit. Next Saturday, right here on the Championship Saturday, we're going to have tennis, women's tennis. Chrissy Everett, Virginia Wade, Billie Jean King, Martina Navratilova, Betty Stova. That's going to be finals now, televised live from Mission Hills. Tony Trabert will be on hand for that. And then the World Middleweight Boxing Championship. Rodrigo Valdez and Benny Briscoe, number 1 and 2 ranked middleweight contenders. 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central and Pacific, right here on CBS. Second down, 15. Whitehurst back to throw. He's going to run it to the 20, the 15. He cuts his way down inside the 10. And the crowd here is loving it. David Whitehurst, who we knew was an excellent runner, moves the ball inside the 10. The Packers have called timeout.
Well, it was just he started to roll out. He got some pressure from the left side and decided, well, I'm going to tuck the ball under as Jeff Seavey, 75, chases him all the way. Seavey comes in from behind. Whitehurst gets away, and there's 75 still there to make the tackle. But Whitehurst got down. They have a 3rd and 2 situation, of which they must make, and a chance to score with 1:41 left in the game as he's back to the sidelines to talk to Zeke Bratkowski and Bart Starr.
That was a 13-yard run by this young man.
You better watch it. He'll be a running back next week.
Well, the Packers have had a tough time, John. As you know, they're last in all of the National Football League in rushing. And today, their best effort by Barty Smith, 54 yards. Other than that, they've been completely under 20 yards, the rest of them. Looking ahead now to the CBS Sports Spectacular. The Laurel Racecourse in Maryland. We're going to have the 26th running of the Washington, D.C. International on a 1.5-mile grass course. And then this is something that's really interesting. The world's strongest men, John. We're going to have the automobile tire toss. 35 pounds in weight, 28 inches in diameter. They're going to throw it like it's a discus.
Well, there's no automobile tire that I can think of that weighs 35 pounds. That
Maybe it's a truck tire.
Maybe it has the rim involved, too. I don't know.
Well, that's the 5th event of that decathlon, the tire toss.
It sounds like fun.
4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central Pacific. Whitehurst now 3rd down 2, just inside the 10. This is Colbreth. Colbreth is going to make it to about the 8-yard line, and that's all. That play didn't develop very quickly. Now it's 4th down. 4th down coming up.
They're very close to the first down. They may have measurement, not quite. They went to the outside on a 3rd and 2 situation, and what happened was, see that hesitation to come back to the side. He could have gotten the first down, but he's trying to go for more than the first down. So they're going to have a 4th down situation.
4th down and really about a half yard to go. There's your time on the screen, 1:30. The Packers using another timeout. 1:30 remaining. 116th meeting. There's been so many great games in the history of this classic. The Packers swept the Bears in '72. Last year, the Bears sweeping the Packers. First time since Johnny Morris and that crew won the championship in 1963. The ball is marked at the 8-yard line. Whitehurst returns to the huddle. Next week, the Packers against Kansas City, and also the Bears go against an AFC team, the Houston Oilers, in the Astrodome. 4th down, a yard to go. Whitehurst giving off to Colbreth. He's in trouble. And so what was a very impressive effort by the Packers comes to a stop at the 10-yard line.
Well, the reason it happened, Gary, was they went outside again 2 times in a row with less than 2 yards. They're going outside. Of course, they're trying to go all the way, but if you want to get that sure first down, you got to QB it, or you got to dive over and get the first down and take your timeout and go for the touchdown. But the Bears have the ball now, and fans, it's all over. All they have to do is run the clock out.
That was Mike Spivey who made the tackle on Colbreth, as Mike Phipps comes in to run the team with 1:23 remaining. With 1:23 left, 26-0. At the 10-yard line, this is Robin Earl trying to go wide, and the big guy is wrestled down for a yard gain at the 11-yard line. But the story today has been number 34, Walter Payton, 23 carries, 205 yards. His longest run of 58 yards. He scored 2 touchdowns. And the Bears have had a real luxury today. They have not had to use Wally Chambers. As you can see, part of this capacity crowd now starting to file out of Lambeau Field. They've also been able to rest Roland Harper. He has not had to play today. It's been Musso and Payton, now Robin Earl. Second down, 9. Here comes Art Best, and Best is across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Time ticking away. Johnny Gray, Ezra Johnson making the tackle.
Stopped by Johnny Gray.
The Bears probably won't even take, they might get this last play off, but they're going to take their time. 15 seconds to go. And I'm going to leave you and go downstairs. Hopefully we're going to have a post-game interview, Gary.
All right, the NFL today will be following as this game is winding down here at Lambeau Field, and it's all over. The Chicago Bears have won the 116th meeting between the two clubs. A convincing 26-0 win here in Lambeau Field.
Five on the 50-yard line!
Hey, Charlie, it was cold last night. You put in a Prestone and a freeze?
Prestone. Who needs Prestone?
Prestone? You need Prestone.
If your antifreeze is worn out or you don't have enough, you could be in trouble. So put in a fresh fill of Prestone, too, to prevent corrosion and freeze-ups.
Prestone. We need Prestone.
Prestone. You need Prestone.
Come on, old trademark. Time for your walk. What's the hurry? I know where we're going. To where your family began. With the same Levi's blue jeans worn by this man. Hey, you've come quite a ways, little registered Mark. Now that I see these guys by the park dressed in your newest edition, sums it up right there. Levi's sportswear. Trademark, I know what you'd say if you could. Levi's don't have to be blue, just have to be good.
Right now, New Orleans is driving against Los Angeles with time running out in the Superdome. The Saints could pull that one out. Let's get you up to date on the games that are now in progress. Baltimore leading Pittsburgh by 10 and make it now 16-0. Roosevelt Leaks has scored in that game, but he has also been injured again, and now he is out, but the Colts are rolling. Oakland and Denver, the big showdown in Denver, and the Raiders lead it in the second quarter by 7 points. Seattle and Buffalo. Lowly Buffalo having trouble against a second-year team, 14-3 in the second quarter. San Francisco has jumped ahead of Tampa Bay. Of course, the Buccaneers still desperately trying to get that first victory. And here's the score. Fourth quarter, time running out. Saints are now driving. 26-24. Rams are ahead in that game. The story there, Muncie didn't start, now he's in doing good. Dallas rolling to its 7th straight victory. They will be the only unbeaten team in the NFC. Detroit gave them no competition today. Chicago and Green Bay, the game that you watched, of course, the Bears blanked the Packers 26-0 in that 205-yard day by Payton. On the game's final play, James Harris ran a keeper and scored for the Chargers 14-13 as time ran out. The New York Jets and the New England Patriots, the Patriots coming on strong now, 24-13, the final score there. Wesley Walker dropped what could have been a touchdown pass in that game, and now I see that the Saints are setting up to kick a field goal that would put them ahead in that game. Cleveland beating Kansas City 44-7. Revenge for what happened a year ago. Houston and Cincinnati go overtime today. 13-10. Final. How about that field goal attempt now? Hit the crossbar, and I think ricocheted across. It looks good. They've gone wild down in the Superdome. It's 27-26 right now. New Orleans. Washington, final over Philadelphia. 23-17. The story there, Joe Theismann. He starts today. He pumps some life into that offensive attack. Minnesota a winner, 14-7, but they had to battle for that one all the way, and they pull it out. So again, it is 27 right now to 26. New Orleans ahead of Los Angeles. And the NFL today will continue on CBS in just a moment.
down the Columbia, the Willamette, the Siuslaw. From the great renewable forests, they come. Logs. Logs to build a better America. And Homelight is there. Homelight, the king. Rugged as the men who run it. Men who fell the mighty fir and see it rise again. When the time in your life comes to get a chainsaw, get the king. Homelight, the chainsaw king.
Whose reputation for quality parts is over half a century old? Where can you find over 100,000 parts, many of them better than your car's original parts? And who also supplies those parts to over 50,000 professional mechanics? Now, who should you see for quality parts? NAPA, that's N-A-P-A. We help keep America moving.
New England added the extra point, or I should say Baltimore added the extra point, so now they lead Pittsburgh by 17 points. San Francisco has scored again, and they lead Tampa Bay by a score of 14-0. And Phyllis, do we have somebody ready now out in Green Bay?
I certainly hope we do, and I tell you what, this man, Walter Payton, certainly deserves to be talked to today. He carried the ball 23 times for phenomenal, as you said earlier, 205 yards and 2 TDs, and Herb pointed out that he is leading the league 858 yards, and he's light years above everyone else. I think he said McCutcheon came in second. Let's talk to him. I'm anxious to hear if he even knows he's that far ahead. Johnny Morris, are you ready for us? Ready for us? Ready.
Gave all those nice statistics, so I won't go through them again, Walter. 205 yards, that ties a Bears record. You got to be a happy gentleman this evening.
I am, Johnny, because as I was a kid and I watched Gil Sayers play with the Bears, he was my idol, and everything that he did on the field, you know, I just idolized it. And to come out here today in the same field and to accomplish this defeat, it just makes me feel good all over.
Well, the running game went so well against the Packers here. Everybody ran well. Did you do anything different, or were the guys just blocking a lot better than they did against Atlanta last week?
That's it, Johnny. As we went over the films of the Atlanta game, we just looked at it in about 5 or 6 plays where it's just a matter of inches where we could have broken for long gainers, 60 or 70 yarders, and that would have been the difference of the game. And this past week, we just worked on our blocking techniques a little more, and it paid off today.
Now, you go about 5'10", 205 pounds. That's not real big, and you go in the middle of the line, you go around the ends. Do you mind carrying the ball that much?
Well, you know, those guys up front, you know, they make it a lot easier for me because they're getting their blocks and they're sustaining their blocks, and believe me, you could do it. You could just walk through there.
No, I don't think so, Walter. How about the Bears now? They were 2-4. You had a couple of bad losses. You're 3-4. You still feel you have a chance to get to catch those Vikings?
I think so, because Minnesota, they got a tough schedule coming up, and we're just getting into the thick of ours, and the guys are really coming around, so we still got a chance. Don't count the Bears out.
Well, you know, a lot of backs, great runners, have not been traditionally great blockers. You are an excellent blocker. Did you decide a long time ago that you were going to block for somebody who's blocking for you, or how did that come about? How did you become such a good blocker?
Well, Johnny, it goes along with the position. You can't be a good running back on one phase of the game and fall down in the other phase. So if you can't do it all over, well, you're not a good running back. So I made up in my mind that if I was going to block just as good as I run.
Okay, Walter, thanks a lot. Best of luck. You had a fantastic game. You now have 14 100-yard performances in a 3-year career, and you can't do much better than that. Thanks, Walter.
Thank you.
Now let's go back to CBS Control in New York with Brent Musburger and Phyllis and Irv.
Thank you very much. Hey, Walter's a nice young man. Any fellas?
Really is. Terrific guy, and he's so humble about all this. He said if you had those guys out there in front of you, you could do it too. I think that's a great attitude.
2 minutes and 24 seconds to go down in the Superdome, and again, New Orleans leads the Los Angeles Rams 27-26. We'll be back with some highlights as the NFL Today continues on CBS in just a moment.
Fred, you're getting married. You gotta look great, so stop shaving. It's better to get stroked in the morning.
The Bic shaver?
The Bic shaver is so responsive it doesn't shave you, it strokes you.
I'm gonna get stroked like this every morning.
And the Bic shaver's cheaper than blades, yet it's a blade and handle in one.
Fred, marriage agrees with you.
Well, he really got stroked this morning.
The Bic shaver, lots of great shaves from just one Bic shaver. Then it's time for the next. So don't shave, get stroked in the morning.
I got enough to worry about. My hairline, my waistline. When it comes to my money, our money.
We let someone else help us do the worrying.
our IDS representative. He worries about planning for our future. And that means not just life insurance, but investments and savings, too.
IDS, not just insurance, not just investments, but a financial plan designed especially for you. When it comes to your money, let us help you do the worrying. IDS, we help people manage money.
We've talked to Walter Payton. Let's see how well he runs, Joe.
Brent, you always say that a picture's worth 1,000 words, but you just wonder. Walter Payton does more things with football than I've ever seen a running back do. Of course, they beat the Green Bay Packers by a score of 26-0. This is only an 11-yard run, but watch the way he does it, demonstrating power and determination down to the 5-yard line, setting up a touchdown run by his teammate Johnny Musso, and Chicago took a 6-0 lead. It's Walter Payton again, number 34, who gained 205 yards today, making a tough run inside for a touchdown. Chicago 13-0. Walter Payton again, touchdown Chicago. And Chicago went on to win the game 26-0. He's simply a gorgeous running back.
And there's a gorgeous team, the Dallas Cowboys. They're about to be 7-0. No trouble at all today with the Detroit Lions. And let's take a look at some of the highlights. Here's Herrera kicking a 45-yard field goal that made it 6-0. Mark Washington, he replaced Kyle, who was injured in the secondary for the Cowboys. They didn't lose much right there on that pass by Landry. He got back down to the Lions' 18-yard line. Here's Staubach going over the middle to his tight end Dupree, who busts into the end zone for 6. Detroit was able to make only 2 first downs in the first half of that game. Here's Mike Hagman intercepting Landry's pass. And from there, Staubach will throw back across the field. Here he is, Laidlaw. And good blocking, and suddenly it was 20-0 Dallas. Tony Dorsett, how did he do, all you fans of Walter Payton? Well, Dorsett is coming. 17 yards in the open field. Saldi caught the pass that gave them a touchdown in the fourth quarter right now. It is 37-0. The Dallas Cowboys are ahead of the Detroit Lions, and so that's going to wrap it up. The Dallas Cowboys will be 7-0 after this Sunday. And that wraps up our coverage today on CBS. For Irv Cross, Phyllis George, I'm Brent Musburger, and I hope you enjoyed the NFL Today on CBS, and we'll see you next Sunday.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Levi's. We put a little blue jean in everything we make. Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to see their better ideas for 78, including Fairmont, the Ford in your future. Magnavox touch-tune color television, computer sharp, computer fast. And by Mobil One Synthetic Motor Oil, the oil that does it all. The NFL Today is a presentation of CBS Sports.